How's it going, VEXED family? Today I want to talk to you guys about the anxiety thoughts that you have in your brain, the past versions of you that keeps coming back and haunting you, essentially. Those thoughts of those nights of arguments you had with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, those nights of drug abuse and possibly anything else, right? Now, I had a follower on TikTok ask me to expand on this subject recently, and I kind of went in depth on it a little bit on TikTok, but I want to talk to you guys about it today. Now, I want to start by talking about understanding what it is, understanding what that type of anxiety, I guess you could call it, is, where it comes from, and what it is at its core, right? A lot of people think that you're given anxiety at birth, that you're given these thoughts, or even if they develop over time, that you're stuck with them, that's a part of your destiny now, that's just you. Now, this is just inherently wrong, right? I believe we can heal from any mental illness, whatever ailment that we possess, right? So we claim to possess whatever. So getting into these anxious thoughts, right, that always pop up out of our head that are compulsive, right? Getting into that, what are they exactly? What are these thoughts? Well, simply put, it's these moments in history, these moments in your past that have clinged themselves into your brain as a sort of emotional defense response. Now, what they are is a parasite. These thoughts, they attach onto your brain. They, not literally, it's not a physical parasite, but if we're speaking about it figuratively, it is a parasite. And what it does is it attaches itself onto you, and it feeds off of the emotion you give it. So it will start to send thoughts your way. It'll start to make you feel like shit out of nowhere, make you feel anxious, make you feel guilt, regret from the past, almost like you can't escape the past version of you. Now, you got to understand, the more that you fucking feed this, the more that you feed this thing, the more it's gonna stay, right? It feeds off of the emotion you give it. And a huge thing I told my follower is, if he's watching this, shout out to you. The biggest thing I told him is, dude, you can choose to feed it, and it will continue to fester in your mind and continue to allow itself to exist, point blank period, or anytime that it tries to capture your attention, instead of giving it an emotion, instead of feeling an emotion attached and associated with that thought, that memory, whatever it is, instead of that, simply look at it logically, look at it from a place of neutrality with no emotion. Feel the thought, yes, don't run from it. What I'm saying is view it logically. Let's say, for example, it was an argument you had with your girlfriend, and you told her you're gonna kill yourself if she doesn't start acting right, but you feel real bad about it. This may be oddly specific from a long time ago in my past, but let's say that you told her you're gonna kill yourself and you made her feel like shit. Like that thought is haunting you, and it keeps coming back. It keeps coming back. Every time you talk to her, it comes back, and you just can't get over it. It's like it's haunting you. The next time that thought comes up, the next time you see her and that thought pops in your head, like, oh, remember when I told her this? Instead of immediately stop, literally center your attention. Regain awareness of the present moment. That's the first step. Regain awareness of the present moment. Look around. Okay, I'm in the present moment. This thought is trying to get me. Yes, it's starting to make me feel sad. It's starting to make me feel guilty. It's starting to make me feel anxious as fuck. But instead of feeding it, instead of feeling sorry for myself, instead of feeling sorry for that moment and feeling guilty, instead, I'm going to ask a question. Is this thought conducive to my future? Is this thought helping me out? Is this thought, if I entertain this thought and I feel it and I feel sorry for myself for the millionth time over, like I have been in this loop, is it going to continue my suffering, or is it going to set me on the path straight where she forgives me, I forgive her for forgiving me, and everything's set straight and I'm no longer haunted by it? I mean, simply, it really just comes down to a point of logic, right? I mean, you got to stop and ask yourself, for anything, that's not just these anxious thoughts, it goes for anything. Ask yourself, is what I'm feeling right now, is what I'm feeding emotionally and spiritually, even physically, conducive to my intended desire, right? My intended result. If not, you shouldn't be fucking entertaining it. Now, this took me forever to learn. This took me so fucking long to learn. You have no idea. It trapped me in 2 toxic fucking relationships. Now I'm not putting blame on anyone. It was honestly mostly me. But it trapped me in 2 toxic relationships. It trapped me in drug addictions, cocaine addiction, weed addiction, porn addiction, pill addiction, video game addiction when I was a kid. That was the first ever one, I feel like. Emotional addictions. Dude, there's so many kinds of addictions. We're not going to get into that. But it got me trapped in all these things. And obviously, these weren't conducive. And obviously, it led to my depression. And obviously, it led to me attempting to take my own life multiple times. So I had to stop and think. I mean, I didn't really have time to stop and think. It brought me to a breaking point. And as soon as I got to my breaking point is when I realized, this is fucking stupid. Why am I not taking control? Why am I letting life walk me like it's bitch? Excuse the language, but I don't. Frankly, I don't give a fuck. But like I was saying, I got to a breaking point where I was like, dude, I want to live a certain life, whatever it is. And me being depressed, wanting to kill myself all the time, and having no friends, no girlfriend, toxic relationships with my own family, my own self. Like, I literally had nothing and nobody. I was dead alone, dead broke, dead fucking set on killing myself. Instead of letting it continue on, I decided one day, this is where it ends. I am going to start to take the actions. I'm going to start taking the conscious effort to stop my thoughts in their tracks. First of all, like I just explained to you guys. And also stop my emotions in their track. If I wake up and immediately I'm like, I want to kill myself, I don't want to be here, I have nothing to live for, stop that immediately and question it logically. Dude, is life really that bad? Do you have cancer? Are you starving? Do you have a roof over your head? Yes. Do you have water? Yes. Do you have purpose? No, but like, do you have potential for purpose? Yes. Do you have another 80 years ahead of you? Yes. Okay, then yes, you're depressed, fine. But take the actions toward a different result. It's gonna take time, but you gotta start going the other way. You're walking down the wrong path. And I just posted a TikTok about this, where is like the slideshow with the words and whatnot. But the point of it was to encapsulate a point, right? And what these slides said was, what if you're not depressed? You can find this on my Twitter, my X account, by the way. If you want some daily inspiration, go over there, follow the Twitter, @VEXED Spiritual. The link is in the description. Irregardless, it said, what if you're not actually depressed? The next slide said, what if you're just walking down the wrong path that you know you're not supposed to be? What if you're living the life that you're not intended to live and you know that? Your soul knows that, right? Your soul knows where you're supposed to be. What if like your depression, what if your anxiety, what if these horrible states of your life are just signs telling you you're going down the wrong path? You're not in the right limelight. You're not in the right environment. Environment as in the life you live, the people you're around, the physical environment, the mental environment, right? The informational environment. The reason I say that and the reason I bring that up is because sometimes we just gotta look around and view it more logically. Because we can reside in our emotions infinitely all we want forever. But where's that gonna get us? Negative emotions seem to be more magnetic, so doesn't it seem like we're usually pulled more into the negative ones anyway? So why feed into it? Start thinking logically. Start thinking from a place of, okay, what can I do to change this? Where am I from a logical perspective? How bad really is my life? And over time, you start to calm down, if you want to put it that way. You start to realize and see the truth of things. See the truth that life isn't so bad. Maybe you just had to leave that relationship. Maybe you just had to forgive yourself for that relationship. Forgive yourself for the addictions. Forgive yourself for the self-hatred. Maybe you just had to let go of the old path that you were walking. I mean, see, even if you go off of it, the anxiety comes where you're still thinking about the past path, right? It's still on your mind. What if I go back? What if I voluntarily go back, or you know, like, what if I accidentally go down that way and I don't know? It's like, you can't even have that in your realm of possibility, or that's just where it's going to end you up, frankly. That's just where it's going to end you up. Ultimately, what it all boils down to, I know I can give all these specifics, but dude, if you want a general concept of what it is, it's the fact that we all create our reality individually, each moment of each day, every second. We are reality creators. Point blank period. Now, I had to go through all the specifics like I teach you guys everything on this channel. I had to go through all of it to finally understand that. Finally understand that life, our own personal realities, right? Our personality, personal reality is made by us. Now, you can be influenced by outside factors, of course, but it's what you let them do to you. That's where you have the power. That's free will. Free will, I guess not by definition, but by my definition, free will is getting to choose whether or not you let that thought take place and create your reality. Choosing to entertain a thought, right? Because imagine it this way, we all have a set destiny, right? God, whatever you want to say, the universe, doesn't matter. Have a set destiny for us, right? And with this set destiny, we're walking on a path. But we also have the free will of thought, right? So thoughts come into our reality, and thoughts essentially create a reality. Now, if I choose a different thought that takes me off the path of God, that takes me off the path that He intended, while I had the free will to choose, I decided to take the wrong path. Sometimes intentionally, we do, right? Doing those drugs, doing that stupid shit, robbing that store, whatever it is. And we go off the wrong path, and we wonder why all this bad shit keeps happening. Maybe it's just because you walked off of God's intended path for you. It was your free will, though. We have free will to choose. But are you choosing the right thing to follow? Are you choosing the right mindset, the right mental conditions, the right self-love, the right ideas of life, the right philosophies? Are you adopting all the right things? I mean, look at that before you decide that you're depressed. I mean, that sounds shallow, but you know what I'm saying. Before you decide you're depressed, before you decide you want to kill yourself, before you decide life's not worth living, because guess what, dude? It could always be worse. And no matter how bad it gets for you, dude, shit like this still exists. I mean, isn't this enough proof alone? I mean, the fact that you're watching this video too, the fact that you get to live in the era of phones, of technology, isn't that enough? Isn't that enough to show you life is fucking awesome? If you just take a step out of your ego, your personality for a minute, and just live from a place of observance rather than reacting. A lot of suffering comes from reacting, let me tell you. I'm gonna have to make a whole nother video on that. Reacting is causing your suffering, let me tell you. I probably have TikToks on it. Sure I do. Let's just take a moment of silence. I want you to enjoy this. I know you're not here with me, so it's not the same. You can't feel the cold breeze. You can't feel the smell of the trees, the birds chirping, the energy in the air. But enjoy these moments of silence with me. And let's sort of take it as a meditation and enjoy this moment together and realize that life's not so bad. No matter what you're going through, you can always pause and enjoy the base of life. Now, it's starting to get windy, so I'm gonna have to end this video. I hope it wasn't windy the whole video. If it was, I apologize. I'm gonna fucking get a mic soon, don't worry. Thank you guys for showing up for another video. Those of you who aren't just fucking clout fiends, that's not the way to put it. Those of you who just aren't dopamine fiends, who just want the fucking clickbait thumbnail and the crazy edits and the live stream moments and the TikTok brain. Thank you for showing up and actually wanting to give value, because that's what I love to provide. I love to provide these informational videos, even if they start out slow and kind of like seem like I'm going nowhere. Eventually my tangents become something fathomable. Like what Kanye West has said. Kanye West once said, when he's not ranting, he's orchestrating a symphony of words. It's a symphony, right?
Very three-dimensionally. I don't think in the black and white lines that I've been programmed to think in. I think in full color. So when I talk, I have to describe a thought in 5 ways. When I talk, it's not a rant, it's a symphony of ideas. When you collect them, you say, oh, these are all these things that connect.
A song takes different patterns. Imagine these rants in these videos that I do as symphonies. At first they start slow, like the conductor going, and then all of a sudden, it gets more exciting, and eventually it all makes sense and wraps up into one beautiful symphony. That's why I want you guys to view these videos. That's how I view them, at least. Links in the description. Our free school community, it's free right now still. If you're watching this, go join while you can. So much value, and once you're in for free, you're in for free for life. I wouldn't miss out on it if I were you. There's a lot of fucking value in there. It's gonna cost soon, so get in while you can at free. All the other social links are in the description. Go ahead and follow it up, run me up, and if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments, and we will catch you in the next video of Vexed Family.